Name drop.
This is amazing. Okay.
It doesn't look like it's recording.
Ally Brooke. Welcome to Name Drop. Ally Brooke, our first name to drop.
Oh, yeah.
You got your bell right there to your right.
Here's how this works. Here's how this works.
Should I ring it?
Yeah, we want you to drop names. Like we're asking you to. And this isn't like well, I was hanging out with this friend of mine, MJ.
Oh, MJ. That's a good one. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jordan.
Mick Jagger.
So this is
Mick Jagger.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice. Okay.
Fifth Harmony.
I'll try.
Second name drop.
Yeah, second
Chris
name
Kirkpatrick.
Drop. Third name drop.
Brian McFayden.
McFayden.
Yes.
Come on, man.
No.
Dude, you
I don't ding on
He doesn't ding me. He never dings me.
No,
he's ding me.
That's hilarious.
I have to say, I love you.
Oh my God.
I totally have a crush, but my crush is not just from
he's
your...
an old man, creepy crush.
I'm not an old man.
Kind of man.
But okay, so I have a 23-year-old son. I guess I'm an old man. But that was like really, really young. Yeah. But I fell in love with you. I just watched the first four episodes of Surreal Life.
Oh my God.
Okay,
that's hilarious. Thanks, by the way, for watching.
Oh, it's a great show. I got to know you're like the sweetest, kindest. That everyone loves you.
Aww.
I love your relationship with Johnny Weir. Oh, here we go.
Him. Oh yes.
So
ring the bell.
So let's get right through the name drops right here.
Yes.
We'll get to the music in a second, but I have to gush about the show because it's a hit. It's huge. I love it already. You had a panic attack on camera.
Yes.
Is that from the show?
I was filming the show and I felt just out of place. Like I kind of felt like a fish out of water in a way.
Yeah.
I think I was really overwhelmed just kind of by the cameras and then by being in a place, like a foreign place, and being with a bunch of, not strangers because I like fell in love with them when I met them, but just being out of my element. Yes, right?
Yeah.
But there's no editing, right? Like this is all, well, there is, but for the most part, they're just
they're just filming. Yes, they're
which
like
is scary.
Totally.
I was on Big Brother. I was
no
on
way! I
Big
wanted
Brother.
to be on that.
You did, and I will tell you, same exact feeling, same exact thing. The difference is, I think I needed 2 months of therapy when I was.
I couldn't do it,
and that's not even a joke.
I
really
feel like
therapy.
That's a different beast.
I would be hiding in the bathrooms the entire time.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I think it's still the whole being filmed all the time and not having say of what is put on.
Totally, and I didn't have a good experience previously with a different show, X Factor, as far as an editing.
Yeah, we'll give that
I mean, I love X
Simon Cowell?
Factor. I love Simon Cowell. Oh my God, I love him.
Who else was on that?
Ally Demi Lovato.
Oh yeah.
And I love Simon. But X Factor, obviously, yes, same. X Factor it totally like catapulted us, and I like will forever love X Factor. But I had a terrible experience with their initial edit of me at my audition. It just didn't. They didn't make me look good. They made me look like
bitchy.
Superficial. Anyways, so I think all of that was kind of in the back of my mind, and then I have trouble being vulnerable. I think that's kind of from years of like being told that being vulnerable is weak. So all of that kind of went through my brain, and then bam, I had like a panic attack.
Born? What part of the world are you from?
San Antonio.
Yes, you know.
So you're Texas.
San Antonio, yes.
You're Texas. So that's a big thing too. Like Texas is a very, got to be tough. You've got to be like, vulnerability is weakness.
Well, actually, for me, it was more so my experience in Hollywood. Like people would tell me in the business.
Oh, Hollywood!
Yes.
Oh, don't get me. No, I'm kidding.
Right?
But you became pretty vulnerable after getting warmed up a little bit on doing the show, especially when you talked about your faith, which I thought was pretty cool. Praise God.
Thanks. Yes. Thanks.
And then, but the one thing that got me, and I don't know if it's because I was.
Did you just name drop God?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
That's a good one to drop.
We almost blew right by that one. Sorry about that, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
What got me, and it's, I don't know, it's because it was like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I have a hard time sleeping, especially when I'm on the road, and I'm binge watching the show, and
I love you.
All of a sudden I'm like, okay, she has this amazing relationship with your mom, and you started like talking about it and getting I'm gonna tear up in a second. But you started talking about your mom has severe scoliosis, and I was just like, oh my God, now the vulnerability's coming out. You're opening up. People are understanding who you are.
Yes.
But I know Chris, he had some of his favorites on Big Brother, And I know you have your favorite with Johnny, but you also pulled Tyler Posey, who was on the show.
I did. Yes, name drop. I love him. He's like such such a good person, someone who you can really talk to and open up with. He's so like non-judgmental. You could literally tell him anything and he'll just be like, "Cool, dude."
Yeah.
He's just such a good guy, and I really felt safe with him. With all of them really, but Tyler just has a way of just like talking to you that you just feel so at ease, and he's just like a mini therapist. So I just love talking to him, and he was able to help me through that panic attack that I had.
There was no one on there that you don't like.
No one. We all.
It was weird.
Because I'll say who I don't like.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
who?
really?
Who?
Yeah, I could say it right. Todrick Hall.
Todrick Hall. Yeah.
Be one.
Oh
There's,
my
there's a
God.
few that I don't
Wait.
mind
We don't
getting
ding.
myself in any kind of trouble about.
She's on the show with Macy Gray, who I
Yes.
absolutely
Oh,
love
Macy,
and
I
adore.
just saw Macy
A legend.
a month ago.
No
She
way.
came down. She's a buddy of mine from Chicago.
I love
Opened
that.
a bar in Nashville, and she came up with Colby Calais. Went up, sang with her,
Yes.
and Colby we've had on the show. We haven't
Yeah,
had
she's a friend of the
Macy
show.
Gray.
She's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Macy would
Friend
be
of the
so
show.
much fun.
Oh,
That's funny.
she's-
Friend of the show.
You're
Yeah.
not a friend of the show.
Yeah, you're not
too.
friend of
Thanks,
the show, yeah.
guys. I mean, I can't believe I'm with a living legend.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Yes, you. I was with you too.
And
Both
Brian
of you.
McFayden.
And Brian
But like a group, you know, is
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
just so cool. So I have
Crazy.
to tell you.
Yeah.
Like
It is. When we were talking out there, it's weird. Like we've had to have met
we had to
or
have at some
crossed
point.
paths. And we had another guest on earlier, which I won't say the name because I don't want to spoil it if he's on before or after you.
Oh, okay.
But we were talking
about Justin Timberlake.
There's a talking about Prince's daughter's cousin. But we have I think sometimes you forget. And do you ever find that like you think you've forgotten more things than you've remembered? I mean, I'm
Yes.
old, so it definitely happens to me. You're still young enough.
No, it totally does. I feel like there's so much that happens that it's just hard to keep up with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's hard to like recall all of those things that you did and you saw and you were a part of. But I can recall a lot of
Yeah.
it.
So you have a better memory than me, obviously.
I
'Cause
might.
I've had times where, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you. I've had times where I see somebody, and probably somebody famous, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so and so. And I'm like a total fangirl.
Same.
We talked about this before that I've fanboy out over the dumbest things. If I see somebody that I've seen in like 2 commercials, I'm like, oh my God.
That's
That's the
hilarious.
guy with the curly hair. He's in the Dunkin' commercial, whatever it is.
Yes.
And I freak out. But I've had times where I've
The
seen
Allstate
somebody,
guy, I'm like that
yeah,
with.
the
I love him.
That guy's-
the what is
State
it called?
Farm.
Mayhem.
Mayhem,
Mayhem.
yes.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
That
I love
guy.
him.
Yeah,
I
or
want to meet
Jake from
him.
State Farm.
I would love to have him on the show.
Yeah,
Right?
but I've had
Yeah.
people
Do
that
it.
I look at and I'm like, oh my God, that's so and so, and I'm like, oh, go meet him. I'm like, I go, hey, how's it doing? They're like, hey, Chris, how you been? I'm like,
You're like, oh.
I know you. we just, and let me drop another name.
If there was
here.
a mayor
Let me
of the
drop
United
here.
States, not president of the United States, it would be Chris Kirkpatrick. He knows everybody. I'm like, I'm shocked by some of the people that he knows. I'm like, how do you know the
No,
Pope?
I know random.
Oh
It's-
my
strange
God.
people.
It's the weirdest
My
thing.
Rolodex is like,
He's like, oh, I
I'm
know that
sure.
person.
what's your Rolodex? Who's
Oh my God.
somebody in your phone or something that we would go, wait, you know that person or that's somebody that
I mean, probably from the Surreal Life.
Yeah.
Like
Chet
Macy
Hanks?
Gray, Chet Hanks.
Chet Hanks. Okay, could we talk about him real quick?
Yes, we
Chet
can.
Hanks is Tom Hanks' son.
I love him.
So when I first saw him, I was like, you're reading in the tabloids or thing like that. I mean,
Totally.
you want to talk about, he's a Nepo baby, and
a what?
then was it nepotism? They call them Nepo babies.
What is
like
that?
it's like
I don't know,
when
but I
you're
dinged it.
when you're like
You're like,
it's like when
It
it's like
sounded
when you're
very
a-
It
intelligent. Some words that I
did.
don't understand.
when
Same.
you're like the son or daughter of a famous person.
oh, I
so
see. Okay.
his dad is the most famous man ever and
I
most likable
know.
person ever.
Ever.
Well, what's the
And I met
opposite of that?
him.
'Cause
I
that's
thought I was
me.
going to hate him. I thought he was the most endearing. He was made for reality
He
television.
totally is.
He's awesome.
You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
He's made for reality TV. He should have his own
I
show.
want to be friends with that guy.
Right?
Yeah.
He's so fun. He's just how
Hilarious.
he is on TV. He's hilarious. He's like, you don't know what he's about to say and you love
Right.
it. You live for it.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
so good.
that guy like that. But you have like this amazing time on this show, right? You're
Yes,
meeting
I
all
really
these
do.
people. So he
Do you guys
like,
still talk? Do you still stay in?
We have a
Because I
group
know
text.
how long ago did you film the show?
Last September.
Last September. All right, so it's been.
Still
I don't
airing.
know why I just dang September, but it's still airing.
Well, we're going into episode 5 now.
So
Yes,
you
I love you.
yeah,
you
you will
know.
see.
You know more than me.
I'm addicted to the show right now.
Oh
you
my
will
God,
see.
yes.
You will see that like maybe next year, maybe a couple of the people that you were talking to, you stopped talking to, and then in 3
Oh.
years you see them and you're like, man, oh my God, that's Tom Hanks' son. I wonder if I should go say hi. I wonder if, hey, how you be? Like it changes. I mean, I've done a few reality shows. I actually did Gone Country too. You ever
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel
it was
like
on
I've heard of
CMT or
that.
something,
Gone
right?
Country was on CMT. We all lived in Nashville before I actually lived in Nashville and wrote country songs. And it was like me, Jermaine Jackson.
What?
Who else was on that? Sean Young, Michaela Gordon, my girl.
I feel like someone's coming
Yes.
into a store right now.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
like, who's there?
But you do those shows and it's like, oh my God, we're best friends because you're with these people for so long and you have so much in common and you relate and you have to deal with, and then slowly over the years, you call each other once a week, then it becomes once a
It
month,
dwindles down.
then it dwindles, and it's so
Oh.
sad because
Oh my
it's like,
God.
I know I'm bumming you out. Like, the show's gonna be over. She's like, Chris was right.
Chris
Nobody
was
calls
right.
me
Oh,
anymore.
but you know how there's always hookups on shows, and especially the Surreal Life. We had Trishelle from
Speaking
the
of hookups,
no, not me.
I didn't say you. I
No.
just said she's the queen of hookups.
Oh, I thought you
By the way, Trishelle.
Trishelle,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show.
Friend
She
of
was
the
on the show,
show.
but she did the Surreal Life, like I
Oh,
think like
nice.
season 2,
Okay.
and you are season 2 from the next series, right? Am I
Yes.
correct with that? Yeah. So it's like season 2. The hookups on the show. Were there any hookups? I know they were alluding to somebody in the bathroom, Chet and Kim. How do you say her
Wow.
last name? Is it
Zolciak.
Zolciak?
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah,
Zolciak.
Yeah.
Even
From
I
the
have a
Real
hard time.
Housewives.
Yes, I love her. She's such a character. She's hilarious. You were saying if there was any
Yeah,
hookups?
there are hookups.
Well, okay, so it'll air in October, right?
Yeah, this
So
will be
it'll be done
Yeah, yeah.
after. There weren't, or actually, no, there was a hookup. Yes.
Was it
Was it
Josie?
you?
Josie Canseco?
How'd you know?
Oh, because who wouldn't hook up with her? Oh, is
She
it Chet and Josie?
Stunning.
Because
They end up.
she looks like she's falling in love with him on camera.
They end up, pretty cozy.
Oh!
I'm not sure if they hook up, but I know that they end up
She was
cozy.
crushing on him from the jump.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, Josie.
But there's
Josie
no
Canseco, yeah.
competition, right? This is
Oh,
like
no.
this
Oh
isn't
no,
like
it's like
it's a lot different
very
than being on Big
mellow.
Brother, where it's like you're fighting.
It's like a
tooth
social
and nail.
experiment.
This is
Totally.
like, yeah, social experiment. It's like the real world, right?
yes, totally.
Yeah.
So
Where
you,
yours was like backstabbing and
Mine
trying
was
to.
total backstabbing.
Oh,
That's
no,
probably
that's
why I'm
not-
still. Todrick might be actually a cool guy. I just, was like, oh,
They were doing anything to get you
Curses.
off, right? That's the whole. That sounded weird.
that sounded like a weird porn.
oh my god.
Wow.
Ding to that one.
Ding to.
Sorry about that one. I think I put the wrong VHS in.
So, yep. Hey, let's get back to Fifth Harmony.
Yeah, sorry.
Since
Yes.
we're
Yeah, let's
moving,
talk music.
it's
Talk a
definitely
little
get.
music.
This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, this is our music.
No.
33 million records.
Yes.
Holy cow!
Best
Crazy.
best experience, best.
Yes.
And people ask me all the time, "Where's the best show? Where's the best place you've ever played?" And you can't answer that.
No.
It's like kids. But what are some of the enjoyable ones? Like, what were some
my God.
places or a show that you were like? Because I'm sure you did radio shows. Did you ever do?
We lived off of those.
Right, where you're with all these
You
other
know.
people. Right, all these. Well, back in our day, you had to do those.
Yes. Same.
Now it's not
same.
as now it's
It's-
not as necessary.
It's not. It's different. But we were like the last to be that.
Right.
To be having to be at the radio shows and all of
Mhm.
that. Like that
Having to
was the
kiss
hype.
The DJ's butts.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's back when
like
DJs
you.
would walk into the room like, "It's me."
Right.
What was your
You-
name?
My name was.
Loud
My name
guy?
was when I was on K Rock in New York. This is many years ago. I was Altar Boy
Altar Boy.
What?
Altar
That's
Boy.
hilarious.
Altar
on 92.3
Boy.
K Rock.
There's
Nice.
Altar Boy. Better kiss his ass. We need those spins.
It's like-
Right? That's how it
Yeah.
was back then.
Oh,
so
we
we
got
would
free dinners. We got
Yes.
keychains.
totally. We
I
would
don't know.
we would take them out. We
Yeah.
would buy them gifts.
Tell
oh
them
my
how
God.
cool they were.
Oh,
God,
totally.
Altar Boy, you're just so funny
Altar
and talented.
boy.
Then you go with the band and you're like, God, I can't stand it.
The guy's such a tool. Do you see
So
his
his
profit
humor
tips?
is so
He looks like
bad.
shit.
Yeah.
Face for
But
radio.
what are some of
100%.
those shows like? Because you've cross pollinated with other bands and you've seen other bands. Who were you at a show that either came into the room like, oh my God, I'm a big fan of you guys, or that you went to?
So Cardi B walked
Oh,
up
come
to
on.
us, yes, at a Jingle Ball, I believe.
Oh yeah, Z100.
Yes.
Jingle balls were the best too, by the way.
They were. Oh my
So
God.
fun.
I can recall there was, before we really like exploded, like Kendall Jenner, she was really all about us. There's an interview on her that she was like at the Nickelodeon Awards or something, and she was like, "Oh, Fifth Harmony, I love them." Her, but you
Which
asked,
is a great endorsement, especially with all the now since it's so much about followers and about that type of thing. Somebody like that comes out and says that, it's like
totally. There was like a lot of people who really loved us. Shay Mitchell, she really loved Fifth Harmony. There was so much. Sabrina Carpenter loved Fifth Harmony. There's so many people. But to answer
Brian
what you
McFayden.
said,
Brian McFayden, like loves Fifth Harmony. Brian McFayden.
Yes.
Come on, Chris.
I love that you love.
Did you say
us.
Fifth Harmony?
Fifth Harmony, yes. I would say I loved going to Europe, like all over Europe. We performed in front of like 100,000 people.
That's insane.
In the UK. We did in
Did you
Brazil.
do Germany? Austria,
We did Germany.
the gas area. Germany, Austria, Switzerland.
We
Not the
didn't.
gas.
Did we do? I think we did do Switzerland. Yes, we went to Germany. Also, Latin America. Oh my God,
You have to be really popular there.
They love us, and we
Yeah.
love them just as much. I mean,
Favorite Latin America country?
Oh, that's so hard. I
Guatemala.
mean,
Ooh, she's gonna piss off a lot of
I
people.
know I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
my family is from Mexico, so I have to
Oh,
say,
Mexico.
there.
Yeah, the Hernandez family.
Yes, exact. So, I would have to say there, and then Brazil. Like Brazil, they literally go crazy for us. They're constantly like just commenting on our things. They're like the first ones to like a post. They're the first ones to like stream a record.
What
there's so
what
many-
bands did you see? Especially because
One Direction. We hung out with One
Ooh.
Direction.
we started in Europe, and I'll tell you, it's so weird because
Really?
you see all these bands, and some of them have minor success in the U.S. You'll hear a song, and you're like, "Oh, do you remember?" And especially dance songs. I don't know if it's still like that or was still like that with you guys, but a band will have like a dance song, like there was La Bouche or Fun Factory that had some of these songs that the song, but you don't really know the band that well. But in Europe, you know the bands. Was there any bands or anybody over there that you were like, "Oh, this is cool"? Because did you got into that culture? Like you're over there watching. If you guys were anything like us, you get there and you immerse yourself in the music scene and go, "Okay, what's happening over here? What are we doing over here?" Was there anybody that you were like, maybe nobody's ever heard of over here and they're big in Europe? Or?
Oh, actually, no, I can't really think of any. But I would say at the time, like Little Mix was also a group that was rising while we were
Mhm.
rising. So shout out to them.
Mhm.
And then of course Ed Sheeran. Like, oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
God,
Yeah,
he was like,
Yeah.
oh my
That
God, I
kid's
can't
You
even
won
talk
4
about
Moon
him.
Men.
We did, didn't we?
You did.
Yes.
Shout out
Where are
MTV
they?
and
Yes.
the Moon
Where
Men.
are your Moon Men?
They're at my parents' place. So my parents' home.
In the basement where you live?
Yes, exact. How did you know?
I knew it.
You
Times have
revealed
been
I knew
it.
tough.
it. I knew it.
Yes. They're like on the fireplace.
Are mom and dad still in San Antonio?
They are.
Okay.
Yes, they are. And all my fam is like back there, and I'm the only one here. But I love it.
Do you go back home often and
Yes,
see them?
I try to go like once a month or
Mhm.
once
It's not a
every
bad
2
flight.
months.
It's got to be
No, it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It's not,
Yes.
It's not bad. Do you ever go to El Paso?
I've been a few times, but I
Chico's
don't
Tacos?
really.
You ever hear Chico's Tacos?
No,
Oh, missing
That's
out.
really
I have to
south.
go.
Missing out.
That's
Yeah, I
really.
know, but the El Paso Chico's Tacos is like
UTEP.
unbelievable.
I'm just yeah.
That
I'm
sounds
a big
good.
taco guy.
Same.
I don't know why.
That's anything
I
Mexican
come here
food,
and
hot
it's like
sauce.
Del Taco. I
Oh
love.
no.
Yeah, no, I like fast food taco.
Oh,
We discussed
really?
this the other day. I don't like authentic.
What?
I know.
I like
know. This is
dive bar
blasphemy.
tacos like El
Yes.
Coyote. That's
Blasphemy.
always fun to go to.
See,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like generic. Not Taco Bell as much, but Del Taco.
El Carmen.
Anywhere where it seems fresh, but I can tell it's processed.
Okay.
Those
I
are
get you.
I don't do the authentic too much. It's
You
too,
have to. Yeah, I have to bring you to San Antonio. You will have to try the authentic stuff, and then let me know what you think.
I was there. Well, I haven't been there in a while, but I was just there a couple years ago. I did the San Antonio Con down there and walked
Nice.
along the river walk, which is
Yes.
gorgeous.
Oh,
the
thanks.
The Alamo.
Well, you didn't build it.
I know I didn't. I
That's
said it
so-
like I built it.
The Riverwalk's
I'm like,
beautiful. You're
"Thanks."
welcome.
I put so much hard work
but it is a
into it.
beautiful town. Like it's got to be cool being from there.
It
And
really is.
how
I
has
love
that
it.
shaped who you are? Because we discussed with somebody else on the cast that about your upbringing. It's about
It really
who
is.
teaches you to be who you are, and you're a great,
Yes.
great human being. That family.
Oh, yes, it's fam, 100%. So for me, growing up in San Antonio, it was all about fam.
Mhm.
And San Antonio is a very Hispanic, like dominated city. So it was
Mhm.
nice to see other people and other kids like me, who I could relate to. It's very Tex-Mex. So you have,
Like the opposite of Utah.
yes,
It's
probably.
the negative.
Yes, totally. And it's very Tex-Mex, so you get your Texas side, but you also get your Mexican side, so
Mhm.
you have both. So that is really what influenced me to kind of be the person I am, and again, just being all about your fam and your values.
When
And
you went from X Factor, and then did Simon pull you guys all apart and said, "Hey, I'm gonna put you with this person, that person"?
no, he literally. So we auditioned as solo artists.
Okay, yep.
And then we got eliminated in boot camp. We thought the dream was over. So devastated. And then
Ring ring. Hello.
Yes. And then
It's
literally, right? And then literally the producer said, "Attention, we want the following people to be back on the stage," or whatever they said. And they brought us, and Simon created the group, and he was like, "As you are a group going next to the next round," something like that. He said along those lines.
Were you guys just going to go by 5H, or what was the?
No, we originally didn't have a name. We were just called Girl Group, and then we were called Lilas, which stood for Love You Like a Sister. And then we couldn't have that name because Bruno Mars had a girl group that was that was called Lilas too.
Mhm.
So that name was taken. So we ended up going on Twitter and saying, I think it was Twitter. Yes. And we asked our fans to name us, and someone out there is probably just like, still can't believe that they
They got
did
robbed.
that.
They got no money from it. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
No, just joking.
No.
But they named us. They called us Fifth Harmony, and that was it.
Okay, so here is
Was Simon like Lou Pearlman?
Here's probably.
No,
I'm
oh
joking.
my God.
I love Simon.
We love Simon. I know who Lou Pearlman is.
He's not with us anymore. Here's a very, very deep question because I'm on a tour. We do a
I
top,
know
top
you are.
2000 tour, right?
Oh my God,
And
that's crazy.
I'm with the O-Town guys, and they have
O-Town.
shout out to O-Town. Yeah. So they have a very similar story with you in that they were on a show, they got created
Making
as
the
a
band.
band at making a band. How difficult is it? Because I kind of have these discussions with them all the time. How difficult is it to be 5 singers, right? 5 solo singers to become a united band? Because if I went out and said, "Oh, this guy can play an instrument, this guy can play an instrument, this guy can play an instrument," now you guys are a band. And
It's like
somebody's
mesh.
"Well, all 3 of us play guitar." Oh, wait,
Totally.
you're going to have to play drums now, or you're going to have to play the xylophone. You're going to have to, I'm just kidding. But, it's got to be some adjustment to where it's, now you're a band. You're not a
Right.
solo singer. And maybe
That was
you're not
hard.
the lead for most of it. But how did you guys
Was it like
adjust?
infighting or anything like that? Like in the
There
beginning?
totally was arguments, but
But they're girls, of course.
yeah.
They're gonna...
Well, so basically, initially, when we literally first got formed, we kind of talked. We were backstage, and it was kind of we were just trying to break the ice, get to know
Mhm.
each other. So that was pleasant, that was nice, just being able to kind of get to see who each other was.
My
and
favorite color's red. My favorite color's
Right.
purple. My
That-
favorite
These are my
color's purple.
sisters. You just met them.
Wait, your
Yes,
favorite
right.
color can't be purple. My favorite color is purple. You have to change your favorite color.
Totally. You know what? Something that I do recall is I was in the bathroom and I was talking to my mom, and I was like, "Mom, blah, blah, blah." I told her what happened. I just got in a girl group. My mom was like, "Oh my God." She was like, "Ally, go for it. Simon Cowell is known to
Whatever he touches.
Mhm.
turns to gold.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay. She's like, I have a really good feeling about it. And she has like crazy instincts. So I was like,
She
okay,
read tarot
Mom.
cards?
No. She doesn't do
Okay.
anything like that. But she's just like very spiritual.
Right.
And she just has like, I don't know, just
Well,
like.
she had a good read
She
on
knew
that
She
one.
did.
She
She
had a good read on
totally
that one.
did. And she actually encouraged me to audition for X Factor too. Like she knew. She told me, she was like, you should go on X
Where
Factor.
was it? Where were the auditions for you?
Austin.
Okay, it was
Mine
in
was in Austin. And so anyways, so I told her that, and then she told me that go for it, Simon, whatever he touches turns to gold. And then she ended up being right. It was crazy. And we actually, after Simon put us together, he pulled me aside and he told me, you are the glue that holds the group together. And I was like,
Wow, no
oh
pressure.
my God, right? And I couldn't have even fathomed how true that was throughout like our
He's a visionary.
reign.
What did he mean by that?
Visionary.
And what did you take away from that?
I
Like,
think
that
he
you're the
meant
glue.
that I was like the foundation. I was the rock,
Mhm.
for it. And I ultimately was, that that like older sister type,
Yeah.
That if there was problems, everybody came to you with
Yes.
questions and
Yes.
It's interesting that you think that, because when I met Simon, I did a show with him many, many moons ago for CBS, and my first like thought of Simon Cowell was this guy was going to be just a complete jerk, and
you
I was
kind
just
of,
like,
you don't know what you're going to get with him.
and
but I think that's probably his persona.
That
he's
is.
what
not.
he-
He's the
He is
opposite.
That's the
The
acting
nicest
part.
guy.
Yeah.
But he gives it to you straight.
He gives it to you straight.
There's
And
no
you have to
BS with him
respect him for
whatsoever.
that.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of like wondering what your perception was of him, because this is many years later that you got to work with him, knowing that whatever he touches turns to gold.
Yes, totally. I adored him from
Mhm.
when he was on Idol. I knew that it was like a persona.
Mhm.
And I, then when I met him, I was like, he really is like the nicest guy and so humble and so down to earth, and like he's very giving.
Did he give you a car?
Huh?
Did he give you a car?
He did not. He did not.
Ah.
That would have been really cool.
And
But,
all the flashy cars, like, oh, this is my Bentley.
Right?
I'm driving around. Yeah.
That would have been nice. But he gave us, some hits. So
Yeah.
and like he gave us a chance at our dream.
Oh, let's shout out some of the hits.
Which is
Um,
all you needed was a chance, right?
All that was all that we needed.
Yeah. All right, the hits.
Let's shout out some
Let's
hits.
just shout out
Okay.
the hits.
First one.
Well, okay,
What was your
I-
first single?
Miss Moving On.
Yes.
Oh my God, the fans are going to go crazy for that one. They love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you guys want to go?
Work it.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
I am the worst. You're going to find this out. But Ally, at the end of the show, you're going to find out at the end of the show, you will, because you're going to sing with us.
Okay.
I
Oh my God.
have a voice of angels. Fallen
Okay.
angels.
That's hilarious.
More of like maybe Fallen Angels is.
Fallen
probably-
angels.
It's pretty bad.
Did you now when you guys came out, was there who were the comparison? Who did you guys get shoved down your throat? Like, you guys have to be like this, or this is what we're. Was it like Spice Girls? Was
Spice
it Destiny's
Girls.
Child?
It was Spice Girls, Destiny's Child. Those were the two
SWV.
Pussycat Dolls? Weren't
inspirations.
the Pussycat Dolls a thing?
Not
Or
as
they-
much. It was more so
In
Spice
Vogue?
Girls meets. Oh, we liked
In
In Vogue
Vogue.
too.
Love In Vogue.
Yes, we loved them.
SWV.
Yes, throwing
I-
it back.
Their nails scared me, though.
Yeah.
Don't mess with them.
They
They
had-
looked
they're
like they
like
could
when
all
they-
be Olympic sprinters.
I get so weak
Weak
in the
in
knees.
knees,
I get hot. But like,
na, na,
oh my God.
na.
But they would they would snap. And I'd see these big long nails. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, I bet she can scratch it back.
I bet you that
Sure
snap was
can.
overdubbed. So did you, since it was Spice Girls, did they try to put, was there ever putting a character on you? Did they?
We for Halloween once were the Spice
Were the Spice
Girls.
Girls?
Oh,
we
which
were
one were
for,
you?
Hey,
I
wait.
was Ginger.
we
I
were
believe I was.
we were the Spice Girls
No, you were
What?
not.
for a music video.
Oh my
Really?
God, that's so
Yeah.
fun.
Wait, which one were you?
We did it. Which one do you think? Or
Sporty. You're a Sporty Spice.
which one do you think I was?
I would go with Sporty.
Sporty
Oh,
Spice.
I was scary.
You're Scary.
Oh, okay.
I was Scary
Shout out
Spice.
Scary Spice.
We
Yeah.
had a song that
That's Mel
the whole
B.
purpose.
Mel B.
It was a bad European song. It was called "You Drive Me Crazy," and the whole thing was it was
Britney
cheap.
Spears.
No, not that.
Oh,
no.
I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
not
my
that one.
God.
I think she stole that from us, Brittany. No,
Brittany.
I'm kidding. But there was the whole purpose of the video was we were trying to get signed by Johnny Wright at the time.
Yes, I
We were
love
already-
Johnny. He's so nice.
We were
Sweetheart.
already
I know
signed-
him.
We were already signed him, but the video made it look like. So we came out in all these different vignettes. We came out as rockers and tried to get signed. We came out as the Jackson 5 and tried to get signed. And he kept saying, no, I don't have time for this. And he was laying out at the pool. And all you see are the legs come walking out. And I'm like, I had a leopard mini skirt on.
Chris with the gams.
I looked-
Showing off
Okay.
the
I looked
stems?
good. But yeah, we
Yes.
dressed as the Spice
Oh
Girls.
my
But you went,
goodness.
I
you went
love
as
that.
sporty?
I was
Oh,
Ginger, I
Ginger.
believe.
Ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah. Mel C.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, Mel B.
Ginger.
Wait, Ginger.
Ginger was just
No,
Ginger.
Ginger's Ginger. Okay,
Yeah,
they're
her
just
name's
Mel
Ginger.
B, Mel C,
Mel C,
Sporty,
Ginger, Baby,
Posh,
Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah. There were a lot.
Yeah.
Ginger was the redhead.
There was
Yes.
I just did the whole Jerry.
Yes.
Jerry, okay.
there was
yes.
Brittany,
Ginger Spice.
there
That
was
was- yeah.
Christina. There were a lot of
She's a
Spice
blonde
Girls.
There were.
That's woman of a
So-
certain age, by the way.
Huh?
That's her name, woman of a certain
Oh.
age.
She
Hey, woman of a certain-
researches things that we don't know,
Oh, there
especially
you
when
go.
it comes
okay.
to like internet stuff.
Nice.
We-
Getting you educated.
We just
Yeah.
learned what Googles were. Googles?
Googles.
Google?
Yeah, but I
Googler?
think
Is
the
that
way
like-
you asked what a Google was a little strange.
The Googles.
He was back there changing and goes,
What?
"Hey, does this thing on my, does this look like a
We go to the
Google?"
library. You know what a Dewey Decimal System is?
No.
I feel like I know I've heard of it.
You're just
I feel
trying
like
to.
I learned
Are
that
you
in
Generation Z
school.
or are you millennial?
I think millennial. I'm 31.
31.
I am millennial.
You're like on the
babies.
cusp.
Okay.
Babies.
Okay.
We had to teach somebody what a CD. We were making
What?
a joke about a CD, and I was
I
like,
love
"Yeah, it's like when the
CDs.
laser play." He goes, he was looking at us laughing, like I don't know. Chris was making up some weird. I'm like,
And he was like spot on. It was
I'm like,
like,
no, that's actually what a
Actually,
CD player, a CD does.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
No.
god.
he's obviously Generation Z, young side. Yeah.
Okay.
very young
Yeah.
son. So you were Ginger. What? This was for Halloween.
Yes, it's
By the way,
Halloween.
shout out to the Spice Girls.
Yes, we love a Spice Girls. I've
Mhm.
met Mel B, Baby Spice, and I believe I met Sporty Spice. I'm not sure, but I would love to like see all. of them
How
in concert.
Do you want to hear a
Intimidated
funny,
were you?
real quick? You want to hear a funny story? We have a picture with the Spice Girls when in a German airport, they just released Wannabe in Germany.
Oh my god!
And we were on our way to Sweden from Munich, Germany to record I Want You Back. And I noticed them and I said, those are the girls we just saw on Viva. We went over,
What?
sat down with them, took pictures in an airport. Nobody bothered either one of us.
What?
There's a picture with all 10 of us.
We have to find that.
I have it. I have it on my phone.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Yes.
But yeah, all 10 of us together. Sorry. No, go
That's
ahead. But that was
so-
just such a weird moment in time.
I've met them like this is back in their height, like 1997,
Mm.
Oh
and
my
that's probably like
God.
right around the time that you met the
No,
girls.
This was like before that.
Way before that.
Crazy.
So this was like huge. It was at the MTV Video Music Awards,
Oh my
and I was hired to
God.
do the post show for MTV Radio. And I'm like, oh my god, the Spice Girls! I was shaking. I didn't know what to do
Oh
or
my
say because they were so
God.
famous.
There's
Mhm.
like royals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They totally are. They're like, I love them so much. They were so nice. Like when I met them, like so nice.
Yeah,
So
they
it
are
was
great
just
girls.
right. So it's just
Women.
so
Sorry.
yes,
women.
exactly.
ladies.
But they never put that on you guys. Like they didn't have like, not to say you were going to be sporty, scary, whatever.
They
but
tried to like. They tried to.
you're the reading. You're the one that likes to read books. We'll call you Reader
try-
Spice.
They-
nerdy Spice.
Yeah.
in the beginning,
You're in your
like
30s, Old Spice.
in the beginning after X Factor, they tried to kind of like make each member with a certain thing. Like I
Mhm.
was the neon one, and then
Right.
I forgot the rest, but
Who was
they
the
tried
cokehead?
for there was
would've
none
been-
of that.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have been a crazy one.
If you think of it,
That was
you had 4 Moon Men.
We did.
4 Moon Men.
Where have you played that you were kind of going, oh my god, I can't believe I'm
Oh, yeah,
here.
we never,
Pinch
yeah,
me.
we never got to that.
I
Sorry.
would say in the UK, the 100,000 people.
Mm.
That was like
Is it
crazy.
harder?
Wembley Stadium? Where was it?
I believe so. It might have
Yeah.
been.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So is it harder to play? I get nervous in front of like 5 people, but if you put me in front of a couple
He
thousand,
gets
I'm okay.
nervous in the urinals.
Isn't that-
I do,
He's
do.
talking
I do
about
get
being by
nervous.
himself.
It's
Like,
just
I hope nobody else comes in.
well, it's because I pull my pants all the way down to my ankles.
Which
like
is really weird.
it's just it's
really
a
weird.
habit.
Especially when he
don't.
wears
TMI,
like tiger
TMI. I
don't
hoodies
do
all
that.
the time
I don't wear.
with the streaks.
Why do you always pee?
I don't.
This is
I walk in and I'm looking.
Guys-
this is not
at
cool.
that.
Guys,
Wow.
ridiculous.
That is the
Well, you're
one-
supposed to
Totally.
pull us together. You're the glue.
That's
Let's
I'm
go make
glue.
this happen.
Get it together,
Make
guys.
this happen. Was there a lot of that in the band? Did you
What?
always? Come on, guys. We got to take this serious.
No, Simon
Yes.
told you had to, right? Did
Yes,
you?
and there was moments where
Should be
when
Mama
people,
Spice.
people, right?
Mm.
Totally. When people would be late, I'd have to be like, "Come on, guys, let's go." I was you can count on me for being the first one all the
Yeah,
time.
that was me.
Usually every time.
That was me.
Yes.
If you're on time, you're late.
Yes.
You always are like 5,
I have
10
to be on
minutes
time.
early. Yeah,
Totally.
It's a
I have to
broadcaster
be on
thing.
time.
Like
Unless like there's something like happening, but I have to.
I would get fired if I'm late.
What were some of
Yes.
the fights then that you guys had?
Oh my God.
Can we talk? Do you
Over-
want to talk about that? Because I
I'll
do.
lightly talk about
All right,
it.
yeah.
So there was definitely, it was hard for parts. Number one, like that was so hard being in a group and having to fight for your part, fight for your part in a record. That's your everything. That's your moment, your
But
chance
again,
to
it's 5
shine.
solo artists.
Yes.
So there is a lot,
lot of that going on, a lot of that mentality.
Just like in the beginning, there were a lot of fights, or even going throughout.
Just when
It
you're
was
doing the
throughout.
songs,
Yeah.
like it's like you're doing a part and you're like, oh, I usually do this part or something. And
It was usually like the producers would pick,
Mhm.
but sometimes it was really nice and like it felt fair, but then sometimes it just
That's what
didn't.
O-Town, they told us that on last season or
Okay.
season 1. They told us basically that was the hardest part because, like you
Yes.
said earlier, that y'all are a bunch of singers. At least when you formed the group NSYNC,
Oh hey.
well, yeah, but when we walked
You
in, it
kinda
wasn't like, oh, there's this high lead coming in, and Lance is like, you know what? I think I should take that one right there, and there's a real low part, and I'm like, well, why don't I just go over and we already had our place. It was like we knew what it was,
Yes,
but
we didn't.
Yeah,
We totally
you had
didn't.
to fight. You had to scrap. You had to get your moments.
We did. And usually it would be, in the producer's hands. And sometimes that would be really good and sometimes it would be really hard, But in the end, I feel like
who'd you beat up?
I did not beat up anyone. Let's put that on the record.
Were there any
No.
parts that were out that you were like, I wish I could have done that one or
Totally.
Or
Yes, there
been
were.
that part on the song? Or...
But for our hits, I was so satisfied with my parts. Like
Mhm.
I'm so glad I was able to, represent myself and
Mhm.
be a part of something that was much larger than myself. Like that's the thing I tried to like think of and like remind everyone is that we're a group. We're impacting so many different people and so many different women all over the world. There hasn't been a girl group who really popped off in like a long time since we did. So it was just like kind of reminding everyone of that. And then
I have a question for both of you.
Well, then how
Yes.
did that work in the? Hold on, sorry. How did that work in the music videos? Because that's
that
even-
was,
that's
oh my God,
face.
that's another one.
That
Was some of the hardest things too. So records
FaceTime.
and music
Yeah,
videos.
FaceTime, right.
FaceTime. That was so people would be like, that was my ad lib, so I'm going to be shown here, but someone else was dancing there. So they're like, no, that was a good shot
Yeah.
of me. And then the other person was like, no, but that's my ad lib.
Yeah.
And then the other person was like, but no, I want to be highlighted there too. I didn't get enough time.
So
it was crazy.
Being the mom, you would line them up by the prettiest.
No, they're all equally.
Yeah.
They're all equally.
Well, I
But we, it was literally ultimately up to like the managers and producers
right, and director probably too,
and the
had a lot of-
director. Yes, and so again, like I was for our hits, I'm just so glad for what I like put out there, and then what we were as a group. Like it was amazing. Like I think about it, and I'm like, I can't believe I was part of that. Like that was
Yeah.
something that was so just. It was sensational.
When
Well,
Time Magazine in 2017 said that you were the greatest girl group of all time.
Oh my God, did they really?
I think so.
That's crazy.
I'm almost positive.
Thanks.
I did a
my
lot of research
God.
Well,
on
again,
you.
don't
I had
thank
to,
us.
but
We didn't do it.
I mean, I
Well,
had a
thanks,
big
Time
part of
Magazine.
it.
Thank you, Time Magazine.
My cousin Tony, he writes for Time, and he knew that I was. No, I'm joking. I don't have a cousin
I can
Tony.
tell you. I can tell you a funny.
I'm gullible. I could easily believe that.
funny thing, and the reason I asked that is because we've had some stuff sometimes where
I'm sure.
a video, and I will be completely straightforward and honest. I lost my shit one time because we did the video for Pop, give it Dirty Pop.
Dirty Pop.
Dirty Pop.
When we did the video,
So
there Wayne Isham, who is the director, big shout out to Wayne, who's amazing. was talking, and he's like, all right, because they used to always just pick on me. They like doing weird shit to me during videos and stuff, and so they're always doing something. But this one, it's like, it's our first song on this new record. It's going to be this big thing, and he's like, it's all vignettes. They're like,
Oh my God,
okay.
that's so iconic.
So like right here, Justin is singing right here with all these girls around him, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's freaking awesome. And then over here, JC's in this like club type thing with all these girls around him. I'm like, oh, great idea. And then there's a circular room, and Lance is there dancing through with all these girls around him. I'm like, oh, this is getting better and better.
Oh my
and they're like, oh, and
God.
Joey, and at the time, Joey'd hurt his leg, so he couldn't even stand. So he's sitting at this thing doing the songs with. He's like, and then there's all these girls around him. I'm like, oh, what about me? What about me? They're like, oh, and Chris, and you're gonna be up in the DJ booth.
Oh my God.
And I was like, with all the girls around me. And they're like, no. Just up
oh my
in
God.
the DJ booth. And I was
They
like,
thought you were the gay one. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God.
man. But yeah, that's why I asked, because, and you watch the videos and you do stuff, and the first thing when you see it is the first time you've like, here's your, video you guys just did. You're
Yes.
watching it. You're watching
literally-
yourself.
You're watching yourself.
Yeah, where am I? Oh, okay, that was good. Oh, yeah. I'm watching going, where's all the chicks?
The thing about when you were doing the shows, when you're doing the videos, that's when they spent like millions and millions of dollars
Millions.
on the video. It was like a
I would have
movie.
loved to be part of that era.
Yeah, like
Yeah, when we
Spike
did,
Jones and
When we did It's Gonna Be Me,
Oh my God.
they built a life-size like
Yes.
toy shelf. It was 3 stories high. They had a real Volkswagen Beetle. Gonna give Volkswagen a shout out. They're
Yes.
gonna be sponsors of the show here.
yeah.
No, they're not.
Oh.
And
they had it in a box, like it looked like a remote controlled car, but it was an actual car. And I can't even imagine, how much money they spent on little things like the golden toilets that we had, and we didn't have golden. But it
That would've been nice.
It was. Did you know any of your budgets, or were there any because you were still was still a big deal for the videos at that
It
point.
was. Actually, it was. Like, there were some emphasis on the videos back
Mhm.
then. There was budgets. I don't really recall, like, I know for, like, work from home, we had, like, a good budget. Yes. And then that was probably the largest budget one we had, I think. So, yes, but it was, like, so, like, surreal to be a part of. And
Did you feel so special when you did a video, and like when you're done and they're like, and that's a wrap, that's a wrap,
Yes,
they're
you
wrapped,
totally
and they
did.
this
clap
is a
for you?
2-part question for both of you, because I
Yes,
think this
do
is
it.
pretty cool. I've always wanted to know this.
Yes.
Okay, where were you?
No, I don't like you.
You do like me.
Wait, what was the?
I give out great hugs, man.
You should
Seriously.
hold a sign.
What?
I give great hugs.
That's a good idea.
Mm.
For the next show.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so where were you?
Mhm.
And where were you when you first heard your song on the radio? And what
Oh.
did your obviously your you come from a very proud Latina family.
Yes.
Where were your parents, and did they call you when they first heard you on the radio? And where were you, and did you freak out?
You know what? I don't recall.
What?
Come on.
I'm trying. Hold on.
First
I
time
know
hearing yourself on the radio.
when we were. It's
Okay,
not
how
there.
about this then? How about this? If you don't
I
remember,
know it sucks.
if you don't
Make one
remember
up.
that
I know, right?
moment, if you don't remember that radio moment, there was a moment, either it was on a TV commercial or a video
Well,
or your song
when
played
we-
somewhere.
We were nominated for a VMA, our first VMA. I believe we were in New York. We were in a Sprinter van,
Mhm.
and I think like I was crying.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God!" There was a call, and they were on speaker, and I was like,
Did you have a speech
"Oh my
ready?
God!" No, not like instantly, but afterwards, we when we like were getting like prepared for the VMAs, we like put one together. I think we did, but I
and you
I couldn't
basically
recall
walked up
that.
and said, first of all, I'd like to thank God.
Yes.
Second shout
of
out.
all, I would like to thank our management, our directors of the videos, Mom, Dad, I love you. MTV, thank you for this award. You guys are great. I just thank you very much.
Just like that. Just like that.
And then they don't call your name, and you're like,
You have 8 of them. You have 4 of them. So what? So who decides who gets to talk?
Oh, Oh, you mean for
when
the
you go up
speech?
to get on the stage.
That was another hard part.
Mom, was that but you're the glue, so
I know. Sometimes it wasn't that easy. Sometimes management would have to get involved. But that, yes, it was. I think it was management that kind of like helped to like split.
So there's
Split
no
the
fighting.
speech.
Mhm.
You know, I think I mean, it's kind of fuzzy, but I think that's what.
Justin has like an iconic moment when NSYNC went up there and he's like, "We have a moon, man. We have a moon." You remember
Yes.
this?
that's iconic.
Yeah, it's like one of the coolest moments in VMA history. Every time when I first started MTV, it was MTV News, but we'd
Oh,
air that over
yes.
and over again for the VMA specials.
So cool.
We were probably even doing
So
like
good.
the train at the time. That's old. Okay, piggybacking off of that, I have a funny question.
Mhm.
You guys, you were in Europe a while. You did a lot. Over here, you do press junket, right?
Yes.
And you do lots and
Lots.
lots of press junket.
Oh, yes.
When you guys would all talk, and you would almost know when they would ask a question who's going to answer that
Yes.
question, right?
Totally. Mm-hmm.
Did you have any games or did you do anything fun? Because when you're doing one after the other and they're asking the same questions, did you ever? Because we used to do a thing where before the next people would come in, we'd give each other a word. And it would have
Oh.
to be the most random word on the planet, and they had to slip that word.
What? We
into
didn't
their
do anything
answer.
like that.
You
That
didn't
would
have
have been
any
fun. No, we would just like we kind of knew who would answer what, or we would at least have like similar answers.
Mhm.
Um.
Or if somebody else answered it the first time and they're looking at you, you'd basically say what that person said.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes. And then we would a lot of times jump over each other, but that was kind of the like what is it called? The
Styrofoam.
No, it was like the
And the password is
I'm trying to think. It was the
Molecular.
like galore no, I'm
Glory
getting
hole.
there. No, galore it was kind of the allure
Allure.
of us.
Okay.
Oh.
Allure. You know
Which
that
also
we
was
would
a great
Yay, she
girl.
got it.
Yeah, I got
That was
it.
also a great girl band. Allure.
Oh, okay. There
that was
you
a girl
go.
band?
Yep. There's a
Shout
band
out.
named Allure.
Shout out to Allure.
You're welcome.
So this is an announcement that I want to make. NSYNC and Fifth Harmony are getting back together, and they're going to be touring on. They're going to
my
be going on this
God.
world tour. I wanted to. That didn't happen. Chris is about to punch me.
Do you wonder why you
I
don't get
would
hugged?
so like
You don't get
love
hugged.
that.
It would be fun.
How much fun would that be?
I would
Because you
love
guys-
that.
Was it 2018 last time?
Yes.
Yeah, 2018.
I would like seriously like
Die.
hyperventilate. Yes.
Oh, we could start
That
a rumor.
would be amazing.
That would.
Let's do that.
Well, we can't thank you enough for coming on the show, and but this is an
Thanks.
opportunity for you
Sing.
to get to sing with us. Do you need to warm up or anything?
No.
Oh,
She
let's
doesn't even warm
go.
up.
Let's
It's
go.
I don't even think that's the tone. We're just gonna sing name drop. That's all it is. All right. Can you
Okay.
make it- Is that
What-
too low?
Are you going to
No,
go
it's
somewhere?
good.
Are you doing
Name
soprano
drop.
or alto? 'Cause I'll do
Oh,
bass,
I'll do
baritone,
soprano.
and I'll
Okay.
do.
So you're gonna do the octave?
Yes.
Okay.
Name drop.
Oh,
Name
man.
drop.
Wait, which one do I do?
Name
Just
drop.
nothing.
Just, why don't you just stick to what you know? Nothing.
Nothing. You see, he's so mean to me.
There
Yeah,
you
like
go.
I
my
actually
feelings
am
are
being
so-
nice to
so-
you today.
sometimes inside, you don't know. Like there's a lot of tears inside.
Oh no, we know.
Uh,
Comes across.
oh, my God.
For
I'll be
sure. You got,
fine.
like that psycho look sometimes.
That's not.
That's it.
It's a
Right there,
lazy
you
eye.
just
It's a
did it
lazy
again.
eye. It's
Lazy eye.
all right. Ready?
Yeah.
One.
Name drop. 1, 2, 3.
Name drop.
Yeah,
There you
that
go.
was beautiful.
good.
That was beautiful.
Ah.
That was beautiful. Did you hear her? You didn't. She was
I would high five
so-
you.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you.
Yes,
Thank you
I
so
got
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thanks
This
for
has been
having me,
awesome.
guys. It's
You're
been a
beautiful
blast.
Ally,
inside
you
and out.
are
awesome.
Amazing.
And we can watch on Paramount Plus, right?
Yes.
The Surreal Life.
MTV and Paramount Plus, Surreal Life.
And if you have if you at home you're playing the home game, hopefully you have Ally to win it all.
Yes.
And there's hookups.
I don't know if they.
Ally hooks up with everybody on the
Oh
show.
my God, I totally do, guys. Totally do.
Next
That's so
episode.
me.
Yeah, that's.
Well,
the
thank
next-
you.
Not-
Thank you for coming in. You're amazing.
Guys. Oh, you
Yeah.
guys are.
We'll have you back when we
Please
when we
do.
announce the
The
NSYNC
winner.
Fifth Harmony Tour.
Fifth Harmony tour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just praying for that day.
Me too.
Oh my God. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you're.
Name drop.